Becky runs them, right? Meaning that black women, since they've been really since they've had interaction with Becky for the most part, they've always wanted. It's a fact. Like again, like listen, you see how black women reacted when they saw Summer Walker just with a white man. They didn't know what his name was. They didn't know who he was. They didn't know anything about them. They saw old white skin in a suit, and women wrote in the comment section, older white men are more relationship minded. And you listen, you got movements online. Look, they have labels for the shit: swirling, divesta, pasta, and lobster. You have content spaces that glorify it and everything. And come to find out, yo, if you talk to most sisters and you ask them, especially if they over 30, have you ever been out with a white man? First of all, most of them have had sex with a white man or a non-black guy. Most of them have a experience with a non-black man. All right, and I'm saying, if you ask them, you'll be hard pressed to come across a black woman that's never slept with a man that wasn't black. Especially now, you gotta understand. And again, this is one thing that the fellas gotta understand about the world. The whole listen, as if you willing to pay the price, the whole world is open to you, and that's why it's important for black people to understand what the cost of things is. Oh, unlock new subject matter on the channel. Y'all don't understand the cost of things. Or you know what it is? You're not willing to pay the cost for anything worthwhile. Like, for example, right? I think we all have a good idea of how to at least get on a road to get the six pack. But we won't even take the first step because you've already, just by this virtue of instinct alone, or just by your natural instinct, you have decided, oh, I'm not paying that cost. I'm good on that. I think we've all been there before, right? When you met someone who's really in shape, or you heard someone who's really, just really who may have a thing you want, who may have a trait that you like. Maybe they dress nice, maybe, but mostly they in shape. That's the biggest, that's the hardest thing people have to do is change what they eat. Like, this has really been a whole thing with me not eating this goddamn 7-Eleven cookies. Now, I'm not gonna get into that right now. But again, but it's all about being better. So, but going into the conversation about black women have always wanted these white men, right? And one of the examples that comes up is Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker literally was selling a product to help black women make their hair look more like a white woman, right? And she's always seen as this, like, this historical entrepreneur. When first and foremost, she didn't do that shit by herself. All right, that was a lot. Her husband helped her do that stuff, and on top of that, she pretty much was like the first fake boss chick for the most part. All right, because again, the story that's portrayed in the movie and whatnot is that she just did it all by herself, and that's one thing that's really interesting is that narrative is always pushed that black women, especially in media, that black women can have happiness without black men to the point where, for the most part, again, I always say to y'all, black men, you are gaslit into being monogamous. She never stops being poly, especially now. All right. If there's ever been a time where a woman thinks she can monkey branch, but what's crazy is the only way that they'll kind of get into a relationship and maybe stay is if they get tired of dating, if they get exhausted by it, because which you should. But for the most part, the world is open to them. So you got to realize, that people are going to keep are going to pursue whatever options they think are available to them, whether or not it actually works out. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, Becky runs them, right? So that's the point that AC always makes. What's about to happen, and this is really important, okay? Now, Kevin Samuels talked about this before his demise. He talked about black women are going to have more competition for black men in the future. Now, it's not going to be for every pookie. It's not going to be for every average black guy. But as far as the black guys who are high earning, those guys who make between $60,000 and $120,000 a year, those men, especially if they're in shape and they're cultured and they speak well and they're intelligent and stuff like that, those men are going to become more desirable because more women are going to, first of all, also too, they have dating apps too. More of those women are going to be more open to dating non-white men. They already are. And also, with the economy is at now, I mean, again, with modern women, I don't know if they're going to get there now. I don't know if they're going to actually come to the logic of, excuse me, I'm not going to be able to make it on my own. And one of the reasons why modern women are, a lot of them are losing, is because they don't understand the cost of things. Most men, when they have a relationship, when they deal with a woman, they understand she's gonna be moody sometimes. She's gonna have a period. Things are gonna happen. Things may change with her, right? He understands, especially if he's mature and he's older, he understands that going in. So when you have your moods or your whatever goes on with you, right? Whatever you coming, right? He's not looking like what's wrong with you. He knows, yo, y'all are both grown. He gets it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas women are coming into the relationship kind of doing the opposite. You understand? So going back to the whole competition thing, right? Black women have to be careful to not start no war with these Beckys, okay? Because you got to realize if interracial dating goes up 10%, this could be detrimental because you do not, now mind you, shit, man, I can't even say it's worse because you do not want Becky's hunting down black men out of spite or really going at y'all because they haven't really done that yet. You may start some shit. All right. So don't get me wrong. I don't like seeing women go back and forth and being catty and whatnot. But I thought it was a really interesting exchange. So these are two people I'm not very familiar with. This is Megan Khelly and Jemele Hill. Okay. So I just want to show the exchange real quick.
Hey, Jemele Hill, speaking of so-called journalists who have it all wrong, here's this jerk, SOP 15.
Of course, as you all know, in the wake of Charlie's murder, there was an incredible amount of angry discourse from the right, blaming the Democrats, blaming liberals, saying, you're the reason this happened. Only to find out, surprise, 22-year-old white dude, loved guns, raised by two parents, lived in a good home, dad is a minister, also a sheriff. Didn't check any of them boxes y'all thought he would check, did he?
Okay, first of all, a coat of mascara would be your friend. I'm just going to tell this to you, woman to woman on television. You need a little work, and you should have them back off.
That need a little work is crazy. Yo, I never thought I'd see the day where Becky starts cooking y'all on TV. She is cooking you on TV right now, and no way, and it's accurate. It's accurate. Okay, and one more thing is this is another example of how our cultures are starting to mesh. White people are starting to learn how to talk shit as good as we talk shit. I don't know if you're catching on to that or not. Like right now,